Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast with PJ and Mike. Now find yourself a seat at their table.
Hey kids, I'm Mike.
I'm PJ.
And today we're going to be discussing the best parts about growing up in the 90s and early 2000s. And to help us out, we have Uncle Rob. Yay!
Hey.
And one of my best friends, Sean Beatty's back.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome back to the lunch table.
Thanks for having us back.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. For folks who are listening, you can check Rob and Sean out on our previous episodes, our Back to the Future episode, the Best 90s episode. Rob was for our Christmas episode and Guilty Pleasure songs. And they also helped us celebrate our 50th episode. So, but yeah, we're going to share today, guys. We're going to be sharing our the best parts of it said about growing up as kids, and also some personal stories, so you guys will get to know us a little bit better. So, yeah, guys. So the childhood memory, I just to get the ball rolling. I guess the whole we're in a store recording, but get the show on the road is what do you miss the most about the '90s? What do you guys miss the most? You know, so Rob, want to kick it off?
Yeah.
Let's kick it off.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to a Saturday morning. All right, you wake up, you're a kid. Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes.
I mean, the lineup was killer. Ninja Turtles. I think even the original Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
I would just sit there for hours, honestly. But then what I love was like the way the cartoons would also then segue into like wrestling.
Yes.
Wrestling, I think I'm pretty sure. I know we're gonna probably talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
I think it came on at 12 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what was funny was they had all these great characters like Razor Ramon, Bret Hart, Macho Man, some of my favorites, whatever. They were always wrestling like the dweebs, they used to call them.
Yeah.
They were like basically in their underwear. They were just like just kicking their ass around. But it was awesome. And then following that, for me, I really got into basketball like early on in the early 90s. You know, like NBA on NBC.
Yes.
And just that lineup for me was just like amazing. So I just remember those times.
Yeah.
And even talking about basketball, honestly, as I segue, the teams were amazing. The players were amazing. You couldn't, like, any game you watched in the NBA at that time also was amazing. So
Every game
when I
was
talk about the
competitive,
90s,
for sure.
between the cartoons that were amazing, well-written cartoons, the wrestling, which was just great to just watch, and then the NBA, I mean, I was watching so many different games. The Jordan era, obviously, and, like, it was just awesome, beautiful.
The
So
pinnacle. Yep.
that was just an awesome time for me on Saturdays. It was just so. And then while doing this, I'm eating like ramen noodles. You know what I mean? Like, and I would just sit there like at the coffee table, just watching all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a blast for me.
Yeah.
I used to watch in the afternoons, like sometimes there was a station called WPIX or I forgot what channel.
Channel 11.
Or, or Channel 9. I forgot what it was.
UPN.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they would have movies, like 80 films from the 80s, just, that I'd be soaked into. But the best part is they would have reruns of television shows like Airwolf,
Yes.
Knight Rider, or the A-Team.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh yeah.
So it would be, and then later that night, I would end up watching Star Trek Next Generation or whatever after that.
Right.
And then, that was like my whole weekend. It was wintertime.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'll tell you what I miss from the 90s. Not having responsibilities.
Yeah.
I'll just throw that right out there.
yeah.
Like, oh my God. Just to know you could wake up, watch a cartoon, do whatever you want. You were going to hang out with your friends. You didn't have to worry about anything. Like, there were no bills. Like, I didn't. That was a good time. But something more tangible, I guess you'd say. Blockbuster Video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times so where we live in Levittown on Long Island, right? When we were kids, there was a McDonald's right next to the Blockbuster Video, so we could go to McDonald's and get like Big Mac, whatever we wanted, and then we would go to the Blockbuster, which was right next door, and you could spend hours in there trying to figure out which game you were going to rent. Right? Yeah. You would go through that whole store. It was like an event to go to the Blockbuster, walk up and down the aisles. What movie are we going to watch? What games are we going to play? Because you can't do that anymore. There is no more renting of movies and games where you go into a place. I used to love going to Blockbuster.
Just going up and down those aisles.
Wasn't it great?
You had something in mind.
Well,
but then if you saw something that wasn't there, you'd be crushed.
Yeah, you're like,
no. But like, that was the best.
Or you go up to the register and you'd be like, is there any chance someone returned this? And they check the little chute to see if someone dropped it in the...
Right.
Or even just dropping the videos in the
The
chute was a lot of
chute.
fun.
Yeah.
Man. That was like a blast. You jump out of your mom's car like, oh, yeah, I got this.
Right.
Yeah,
I
man.
remember the mom and pops at rental stores.
Yep.
Yep.
Like Mr.
Mr.
Video.
Video.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, my God.
I would rent a video game for the weekend or a movie, whatever, and got to remember to rewind the VHS tape, you know, because you get
Be
charged.
kind, rewind.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I used to rent a lot of video games there that I
Oh,
could never
yeah.
beat. But yeah.
You have enough time to beat
Yeah,
them,
you had like
really.
4
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
You drive home thinking you might actually beat this
Yeah.
thing. It was like RoboCop and like Back to the Future. I had no clue what I was doing.
I think for me, I don't know how to put this. Like, just like freedom. I guess it's like no responsibility, but it's like
Yeah.
I hate to be like there's no like. I know everyone's like there's no internet, cell phones, but there was something to that. Like, I feel like when kids today get kids get cell phones now like in the 6th grade now, you know. But like I thought when you got your bike, that was like the equivalent to getting freedom. Like
Yeah.
when you left your house, man, you were on the open road.
Yeah.
And like that was it. You had to call your parents from like a payphone. You had to make sure you had a quarter
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
Like, you were like really like it was like Mad Max out there. It was like the Wild West. Like
You had to write a little note before you leave.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
say,
It's like-
I'm going to be here. I'll be
Yes.
back, you know, whatever,
Yeah. And
just
then,
to remind them.
You really felt like when you went out on your own, it was a
You had a
then
responsibility.
You had to like,
Yeah.
and you knocked on your friend's door, like yo, and you had to like coordinate and like, I mean, guess cell phones also brought us together technically too. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
people can hear my voice right now around the world. It's amazing, but
Right.
I don't know, just
It was
being that
different.
age,
Yeah.
yeah, just to be able to like, I don't know,
No,
just
the bike thing was used like going to the
yes,
store,
yes, yeah, it just seemed
locking
like,
it up.
Yes,
That was the
everything
best.
just seemed like there was a lot of freedom. I feel like almost now we have almost less freedom, right? Everything's like you can't knock someone's door without getting recorded now with a
Yeah.
ring.
Back then,
Yeah.
your parents just had to trust that you were going to come home alive.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
'cause
Right.
they couldn't tell, they didn't know where you were. You could say, "Oh, I'm going to Mike's house," but they don't know.
Yeah.
Like they'd have no way of knowing. They just accepted that that's where I was going
Yeah.
to go, and I wouldn't be dead.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
There was one time we went to the movies, went to see Titan AE,
Right.
and
yes.
and if you remember, the theater wasn't that close to my house.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a walk. We had to cross 6 lanes of Hempstead Turnpike.
Yeah.
We had to cross over Newbridge Road. Like
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
you had to walk to this place.
Yeah.
And there was so many. It was like Frogger. Like there was so many chances for us to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the theater itself wasn't even a great theater. It was just the only one that was somewhat walking distance from my house.
Yeah.
And we just, I think 3 or 4 of us went, but we walked.
Right.
But I think about that now. I'm like, I would never walk to a movie theater now. Like you couldn't pay me to like walk to a movie theater, even if it was close. I'm like, no, I'm driving. Like it's just weird how as like a kid we were like, yeah, we could walk to that theater that's like 10 miles away.
I did that a few times because we lived right next to Nassau Mall. Well, it's not technically a mall anymore,
Right,
but
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you had the
You had like
multiplex.
AMC or Lowe's, whatever
Yeah.
it was, right there.
Yeah, so it was just simple just to walk over there. I remember there were a few times that we walked over to the movie theater. I remember one time we pre-gamed and we went to see what was that Christmas movie? Elf.
Oh no. Oh, was it?
Yeah, and then when we were leaving, we were seeing
What
Santa
movie
Claus
did
is
we go
coming to
to?
town.
Yeah,
Santa
for
Claus
real.
is coming to town.
Yeah.
because that's how drunk we were.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
really brings up a good point. Why didn't we just go see Titan AE at that theater and walk from your house,
that's-
which is way closer than my house was to
I
United
have
Artists?
no clue, man. I really don't know. That's another thing too. I mean, we'll get into stories, but like, no, it's really strange now. It's like now you buy your movie tickets online.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So even kids, I guess they get their parents to buy it, but like there was something too. Like, so you went on your own. You looked in the newspaper. Okay,
Yeah.
the movie's playing at 1:15. You got on your bikes. You locked it up.
Oh my
you
God,
prayed
you're right.
no
We
one-
had to look in the newspaper to
Yeah,
figure out when the
yeah.
movie
Yeah.
was
What
playing.
about the TV guide? But yeah.
TV guide.
Prayed no
Oh.
one like fucking your bike
Yeah.
and stole your pegs.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, you're right. I was gonna say with bike riding, I was like, everything was an adventure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
going to, the,
Yeah.
to a store, like you
Yeah.
said, going to the movies. What about even like just bike riding in a random park or field?
Yes.
Like by us, remember the cornfields that we
Yeah.
had?
Yeah.
It was like bike trails and these random like dirt like ramps that you would just jump over, no helmet. I remember doing it like with a cruiser bike that like was
Yeah,
my
yeah,
great
yeah,
aunt's
yeah.
bike because my other bike had a flat, so I'm like trying to go over these ramps with like a 26-inch like cruiser bike, and that's just amazing.
Yeah.
The
Do you guys
bike-
remember Yam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
like, it was hours.
No, I
mine,
used to
and-
go there. Yeah.
Wasn't
And,
that, that's right? That was right near my house. That was
Yeah.
right down the
But they
block.
had the
yeah.
bike ramps at night
Yeah.
and behind
like
it.
the
Yeah.
half pipe kind
Yeah.
of thing. And
I mean,
the box.
And who knows who built these things? But I'm saying you went there, you went on
Yeah.
these bike ramps. I went there with my 20-inch Huffy, and like I went over it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
I remember watching.
you weren't
do
worried
that.
about
That was
lawsuits
cool.
and
Yeah.
Well,
The
people
Wild
doing
West.
sick. A kid did a backflip there.
Yeah. Yeah.
His name was Hollywood.
There was a
His
guy
name
named
was Hollywood.
Right. There was another guy named Kermit too, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Right. He had
He
a
would
huge
line up all the
Adam's
bikes at the
album.
end. He would do his backflip. Yeah.
That was amazing.
I remember when we used to ride our bikes over to get ready for this a wooden castle playground over at a certain school.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I for you guys.
That
it's,
place was a death trap,
it's-
but we loved it.
It was
Oh,
one,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, in Levittown, it was Abbey Lane. elementary school that had this big, huge, like
was
wooden
amazing.
playground.
It was the
The
best.
It was
best.
possibly one of the
best.
best, right? It's just a walking distance away.
And
It's
then
just
and
like-
then what they did for that playground too is like, what can make this wooden park even more dangerous? Let's cover the floor with hard rock.
yes,
Right.
It wasn't even like grass or sand. They're like, let's just put rock.
You
So
gravel,
if they fall
tons of
off,
gravel.
if
Yeah.
they fall
That was
off the
fun.
monkey bars, at least it'll be a hard surface.
Right, right.
Hey, bricks
But
might
then you
fall,
play like
know,
don't
Yeah.
that's
touch the
fine.
lava. every
Yeah,
day.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
hear
yeah.
the rocks like when you step,
Yeah.
like with your feet going.
But then you
through
had
it.
the rocks in your shoes.
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The elementary school, and we go into the class, and it was
Yeah.
still
You're,
in
like,
your shoes.
dumping it out. Yeah.
And my friend Jonathan, a shout out to Nistel, John Nistel Music, okay? We're sitting down on the carpet over here in a story. He would take the shoes, the rocks from his shoes and like throw them against the blackboard. And you just hear like ding, tuck, ding, tuck, ding. And she'd be turning around like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'd be sitting next to her just like cracking up. But yeah, that's fun
Wow.
stuff.
Damn.
That park, a lot of people did some crazy stuff in that park.
Yeah.
I was upset when they tore it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's shitty. Now it's just like a regular.
metal.
Now it's just a
Yeah.
piece of metal, you
Yeah.
know, and with
They
That
got
wouldn't-
soft
colors.
pads on the ground.
You know what? I
I'm
wouldn't
like,
have been mad at the soft pads.
I
looking
know,
back, I'd have been
but-
okay with.
He reminded me actually the slides. They were
Yeah.
always like 100
Oh, the
degrees.
100
up.
degrees are-
yeah.
But you went on anyway.
Yeah.
You just
And you
burned
didn't
the
care.
whole way down.
Like I didn't run home. I didn't tell mom. Like I was
yeah,
bloody
yeah.
knees. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but those. Oh man, good stuff.
Good memories.
I guess I'll start with this, guys. Don't I really miss? I guess this is like the anarchist in me is like the chaos of Halloween. I feel like we don't
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
anymore. Look, I'm
Yeah.
not promoting like destroying people's property or people getting into fights, but like there was something special where like when you got like maybe middle school and high school, you like put on your camouflage.
Yeah.
You
Right.
got your eggs and your shaving cream. And
Yeah.
it was something, but like I said, it was like the Wild West back
Yeah, it
then.
was.
But there was like a code, an unwritten rule. Okay, don't damage people's shit. You always had that one
Yeah.
outlier who would be a piece of crap. But yeah, it was like. There
And
was
the night
something-
had a feeling to it when you went out,
Yeah, it
especially
really
like kind
felt
of
like-
later
Yeah.
into the night as a middle schooler too.
Yeah, it felt
Yeah.
like Devil's Night.
Yeah, you had your pillowcase
Yes.
Yeah.
with the candy inside, but then you had your what was it? You adjusted like shaving cream, like you burnt the tip,
Yes!
so it would
Yeah, you would
shoot
shave the
further.
tip a little bit so that it would
Yeah,
shoot out
yeah.
just like a stream and not like
Yeah,
you know,
like-
not like
yeah.
like a fluff.
And you
Right.
see some
Yeah.
kid who was like covered in it. It's like, dude, what happened? You don't even know the kid.
Right.
Yo, there's a
Right.
crazy war around
Yeah,
the block.
yeah.
It's like, yo, who's got the eggs, man? Who's got the most eggs on him right now?
Yeah.
Should we go? Should
Yeah.
we go?
So yeah, I gotta tell you this quick story. So this is like I think 8th grade. So it was me, PJ, this another guy named Rob, and another friend named Anthony. And I remember PJ was actually Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I was, yeah.
Oh,
right.
badass.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, when I had hair, I think I dyed my hair red, but I think I wore a mask, a skeleton mask, and I put a clown wig on it. So it was like a skeleton with a sense of humor. That was my
Right.
thing. And my two other friends, my friend Anthony just wore black. He dyed his hair silver, and my
Yeah.
friend Rob, I don't know what he was. So anyway,
He might have just been himself.
right? Yeah, yeah, that's all he needed.
Oh,
All
my
he needed.
God.
Yeah.
But he was a character, nice guy. But anyway, we had all our ammo, right? So I don't think you had shaving cream. I actually had silly string. I didn't have. That's all I had was silly string, which sucks.
Yeah, it's a
You know
kind
what
of
I
the
mean?
weak version of like,
Right.
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
having a handgun in like a machine gun
Anthony
fight.
had Anthony had
Like a water
eggs.
pistol.
Right, and then Rob, he had everything, and he had the best of all was a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A kitchen fire.
Oh,
So like,
nice.
so we're going around town. And look, I'm not gonna lie. I threw an egg at a UPS truck. So
Yeah,
you'd be happy about
yeah.
that, PJ. Andy threw one at a school bus. You know, this is right after school. And it was like, I always love Halloween when it's on a Friday, not
Oh,
a
yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
You need.
well, you can get wild.
Right, because
Yeah.
you need to have that you need to have that anticipation. Like when that school bell rings,
Yeah.
that's when it's go time.
The weekend
Yeah.
starts. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Exactly. You don't need a Saturday anymore. You want Halloween on a Friday. So I don't know which day it was. I think it was a weekday though. I know that wasn't because anyway. We go out. Just some quickness. So I said I hit the UPS trucks. Anthony hit a school bus. Our friend Rob took the fire extinguisher and he put inside of those blue mailboxes.
He's been in the mailbox. I remember
Yeah,
that.
He
Yeah.
goofed it up with with the fire extinguisher. Anthony did a prank. He took someone's newspaper they didn't pick up yet. He put an egg in it. And he screwed
Oh.
So they opened it up. But here's the thing. So we're over like in some of this section, like near PJ's house, and we get ambushed by these girls. And look, it's like there's 4 of us. There was like 12 of them. We just did not have the firepower, the ammo. We got owned. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We got owned. We got owned, and we were like defeated. You know what I mean? We were like,
Yeah.
we can't believe this. We have to redeem. We had no, and you can't go into a store because they weren't selling anything.
Right.
So, I think it was either PJ or Anthony. They were like, "Yo, I know a guy." We went to another guy. His name was Mike D. he was like ready to, he was only going at night.
Yeah, that's because he lived around the block from
Right.
me. Yeah.
He only had shit, like, he was only going at night. This
Yeah.
guy was like real into it.
Yeah.
So we told him what happened. We like go, it was like a war story. We go into his garage. He like pops open this cooler. It's like Terminator. He goes underneath that ground.
Yeah.
He's like a Gatling gun. He had everything. He
The
had,
wall like turned around. It was like
Yeah.
more shit behind it.
Dude, he had everything. He had,
Identification scanner. Okay, enter another
dude, he's
room.
like, what do you guys want? He needed like a cigar.
Yeah.
All he needed was a cigar. You know what I mean?
And
Like
a patch eye.
exactly.
I'm thinking
exactly.
of like Predator.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So
Dylan used on it.
right. So so backtrack real quick. So when we were getting when we were wrong. So when we got attacked, right? So we met Mike. He gave us ammo. So now we had to redeem ourselves.
Right.
Right.
So we're on the hunt for them, and like we ran into other kids. It was like other friends from school, and they'd be like, "What happened to you guys?" Everyone's kind of talking about like we're trying to find these girls. We know who they. I don't know their names now, but I remember like we need to get some kind of revenge. So we still didn't have enough ammo. We were still out. We were still outnumbered and everything. Like, okay, we got to find a way to like just hit them hard and then run, like kind of like do like a Vietnam thing, like a Viet Cong hit, like a guerrilla attack.
Yeah.
Remember, the only thing I still have is my ceiling string that comes into play. So we find these girls, we start beating their ass. We kind of run away. They start coming after us, and then Anthony comes up with this great idea, and I saw what he did. The girls wanted like some kind of truce, but we knew that was bullshit. But we knew it was bullshit too, right? You can't kind of. So what Anthony did was he filled his entire handful of shaving cream, but inside the shaving cream was actually an egg.
Yep.
So when the ringleader was gonna like shake hands or something, like make a peace talk, whatever, he just like wham right in her chest. It was like
It's like in slow motion.
And this girl who I hated, she had red hair. She was such a bitch. I took my silly string and she was like mouthing off. She had a big ass. I shot that silly string right in her mouth. And she just goes, ow.
Mike's like, this is Sparta.
Then we had the fire extinguisher going. It was like a smoke screams like Batman, and we just ran. We just ran. I think PJ was just like the cartoons, like just like we just ran.
That's
That was
awesome.
like we redeemed ourselves. But I just remember the chaos of that, man.
It's like we were out here for a Kit Kat. You drew first blood, not us.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyways, what do you have, man?
I think we're gonna go back a little further.
Oh.
This is like late '80s in a way, but I'm gonna bring this up. This is something that we used to have fun with, and it was a go-kart.
Oh yeah.
The 2x4 with a bearing in the front, baby seat, 4 wheels, and
Yep.
just rope connected to the front, and all you need is 2 people. Just have one person steering, the other person pushing.
Yep.
And then once it's going, you have the second person just step on top of the rear of the
Yep.
go-kart and just takes right off. My dad was a creative guy, so he decided to create this for me and my sister, and you guys had a fun time with it
That
as
thing,
well.
I still have it in my head so vividly.
Oh yeah, I know how it feels. Like the
it
string
was-
that you
it-
pulled
because-
while you steer with your feet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
and what was funny about it was my grandfather tried doing it one time with me, and he's a big guy. So when he went to push me and went to jump on top of it, the wheels broke because they were plastic. It was
Yeah,
like
were those
plastic
lawnmower wheels or
whe-
something?
That's what it was replaced with.
Ah.
yeah.
Right.
So my dad had to replace the whole thing. And,
There you go.
But we did that for like 3 years, I guess, until like I guess when we got to middle school or so. But yeah, that thing was just like fun time. And what's sad was like my dad was thinking about putting a small lawnmower.
And I was
or-
praying he was gonna do that. I
Yeah.
remember that,
put
man.
a motor on there and then just ride it around. And I have like 2 extra motors in my garage. I'm like, maybe I should try.
Yes.
I got a ton of 204s.
Let's do it,
I
man.
got some wheels. Maybe I can do something like this. I've seen a lot of people around our block doing that. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if my daughter would be up to that yet, but
Well, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not about your daughter, sir.
Mikey
Okay.
lives a few blocks away from me. I can just
No.
come over.
And
Yeah.
it should be intrigued once we're doing it.
Yeah,
She'll get on. Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's a fun time.
Hell yeah.
They're great
Once
ones,
you
funny
heard go
bits.
kart as a kid, that was like
Oh, yeah.
a thing. Whoa, I'm gonna
Exactly.
get a go kart maybe for Christmas or someone's
exactly.
making one. Yeah.
Yeah. The building, everything was like a building back then.
Yeah.
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 Build
Being
shit.
creative. I mean, our fathers were creative people, so
Yeah.
they know what
Oh,
they were
yeah.
doing.
One of the things I miss about the '90s, it's not so much that I miss it because I'm still around comic books all the time, right?
Right.
So it's not that I miss getting comic books or reading comic books. But when I was a kid, if you remember, I used to play football. If you know me, you know I'm not the most athletic person. I don't look athletic. I'm not athletic.
Right.
But my father was the coach of the team, and he would tell me if I had a good game,
Right.
if I practiced hard throughout the week and then I had a good game and I did something good, he would take me to the comic book store and he would buy me comic books. And I don't know, because like I could still buy my own. I could buy my own comic book now, whatever I do, right?
Right.
But there was something like, I don't know. I missed that. Like, I have zero competitive edge when it comes to like playing sports. I don't want to. It's too much work. It's nothing I enjoy.
Okay.
But back then, I was like, I want to have a good game because I want to go to the comic book store.
Right. Yeah, it was
And
incentive.
It was
there.
like an
Yeah,
incentive,
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
there's nothing motivates me like that anymore. Like, because now when you can do things for yourself,
Yeah.
then there's no motivation to do anything because you're just going to do what you want to do. But back then, like, I couldn't just buy myself a new comic book because I was a kid. I had no money. I had to find a way to earn it. And I don't know, there was something about that, like, going to McLaren. I used to play our home games at McLaren Field.
Yep.
And I was a lineman. It's not like I could do much.
Right.
But I was a center. I was, like Jason Kelsey of the 90s. And then I was also a defensive lineman. So I was on the field both sides. And if I could get I was just like, I got to just get one tackle. Let me just get one tackle. Let me just grab one flag.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Let me just
Small goals.
Let me
You
just
got
be
it.
involved in one play. Let me prevent our quarterback from getting murdered. Something that I could say I did well, so I could get to that comic book store. I don't have that level of motivation or incentive for anything anymore, and so I miss that.
Yeah. That's,
Maybe my dad needs to start incentivizing me, like buying me comics again or something. I don't know.
There you go. I guess I'll jump in now. So this one is about video games and playing video games. I'm sure we can all relate to, like, with friends back in the day growing up. So this guy's actually sitting across the table right now. So everyone's got that one friend who's actually very good at video games. I was kind of the opposite, I think, than you, PJ. I was kind of like very active. I couldn't really sit still. That's why I think I play drums, and I'm always like maybe outside. I can bounce a ball for 3 hours, but I can't really sit down that long and play. I always had a love-hate also with video games. But Beatty, Sean, he got, I think, Nintendo really before us.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's going to be my excuse, I guess. But he had Nintendo before us, and he's excellent. So he has me over, always coming on. He's one house away, so I'd go over there. And we'd be in his back room. And, we're getting ready to play. He's like, oh, you're going to be Luigi. yeah, no shit. But it's when your house, you're hosting. So, I'm going to play it too. That's fine. And I haven't really played the game yet. I think I might have just started playing it. So Sean's playing for like an hour. And he's just going, and I'm like, and I'm being patient. So his mom, now in this back room, they had the laundry. And this in the corner, it was like they had the washer dryer. His mom would walk by with loads of laundry. Beatty comes from a family of 5, like I do, and she would walk by and she'd be like, Sean, are you letting Robert play? And I had to be like, no, he's letting me play at some point, basically. So she would walk by. This lady had about 90 loads of laundry, mind you. So Sean is like going through, I don't know how many worlds are in this. I don't even know still with Mario. I still haven't really beaten it, to be honest. So like, he would finally die, and I take the controller, and I'm like, I can't believe it. And here's my chance, like, dun, 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 dun. I must have lasted, I swear to God, I think 40 seconds. And I'm like, and the sadness I had, and then Sean would be like, well, I guess I'm playing again.
The devilish beating.
And his mom would come by again, and then he would end up like, I just think beating the game. I didn't even mind. I actually got, I think at that time, more into like watching someone play, watching people play who are awesome, and he'd be like, just killing it. So his mom would come by, and I think that's when I actually learned how to do laundry. Was just watching your mom do laundry. But know what I played too, and I missed from the 90s. Maybe it was even an 80s toy, so whatever. Where it's like this little like small like console thing you put on your lap. It had a steering wheel on it. And you kind of turn it, and you're only really turning and moving the landscape behind the stationary card it's on. You had like a shift. Anyway, Beatty would be playing Super Mario, and I'm playing like this, handheld like thing that I'm thinking I'm killing it in because you just drive it straight or whatever. And I just always remember that, man. Beatty still owns it, video games.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also real quick, same thing he did to me with GoldenEye.
Oh,
Okay, 90s GoldenEye.
Forget about it.
Oh my God,
You
forget
can't,
it.
You can't respawn because you would get shot immediately.
Exactly.
There's mines everywhere.
It's the same thing. So now it's like, we all play at the same time. I don't have to wait for Beatty anymore.
Right.
All right. So now it's like a 4-player. Mikey, you were pretty good too, though. And then like Sean, same thing, like the gold gun.
Yep,
Like
all the gold-
dun, 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 dun. I'm like, Sean, he's like, what? You know, I'm trying to figure out the map, and Sean's like behind me already, like breathing down my neck. And I couldn't even really play, but it was a beautiful thing. But it's actually a good memory. But
Yeah.
you kicked my ass with the video game. So yeah, I love that though.
I'll add something to it.
Yeah,
After.
pass it
Oh,
along.
you're right. There's a video game story.
It might, yeah. Well, here's another thing that I want to add to the NES. My NES actually came with a power pad. Do you remember World Class Track Meet?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That I
Where-
kind of
where
like though.
You gotta run on the
Yeah,
head,
yeah.
and then it's like you get tired. So then all of a sudden it's like, fuck it. You know, you go down and you're like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you know, I wonder if that gave you the inspiration to play drums. You know,
Maybe,
it's like,
yeah. Between that and you know.
But
hearing
going
the
back to
music in the house.
GoldenEye, I used to play when I had I remember Uniracer that we used to
Yeah,
play
I
together,
love that game.
you know,
Oh, yeah,
on
you
Super
were
NES,
awesome in
and then when we did GoldenEye, what I would used to do during the '90s, it was either the GoldenEye or Star Wars: Shadow of the Empire.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Nice.
I would either blast. I got into Metallica during sometime. I guess it was close. I met like before Load came out. I started getting into Metallica. I had a Load. I had the Black Album. But then I found out that they had earlier albums, so I started getting Kill 'Em All. I started getting Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets and also then every time I go into GoldenEye or like Shadow of the Empire, I would just blast the soundtrack of old school Metallica, just blasting as I'm playing this. So imagine hearing old school
Yeah,
Metallica as
yeah.
you're playing this, or
Nice.
Dream Theater. That was
Oh,
another
yeah.
band
Yeah.
that I would start blasting because we just started getting into Dream Theater
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
that time.
Yep.
And Rush. It was like, but I have to bring this memory up, guys. Now, PJ, I don't know if you ever heard the story, but this is
Oh.
this is
I think I
based
know
on
what's
true
going on.
events, and I know these two will have a lot to say. So, I was a Nintendo boy, and you guys were Sega Genesis
Yeah, I
guys.
still like Sega. I think
So
the best.
one Christmas, you guys end up getting a 32X,
Yeah.
and you know it's a little mushroom that you put on
Yep.
top of it. And you guys had, and I remember coming over and you showing me all these games and stuff. It's like, oh, you got this racing game, you got this game, and there was this one particular game that you guys would show me, and it was called Virtual Fighter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And basically, it's a 3D platform. You got these guys that go and they go like, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, and doing all these like
Wow, nice,
sound
dude.
effects. I'm like, oh
Wow.
my gosh.
That was
And then you
great.
got this one character, just a Tin Man. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's like-
Terrell. That was his name.
so yeah, and I remember you guys were just telling, Rob was telling me, oh man, Mikey just beats me in this all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, let me try it. So I
Yeah, you
jump
try
in
it.
there. Here we
Game
go,
wizard.
and then Mikey beats me. I'm like, oh my god, this guy he's good. So then we would have these tryouts. We'd just go back and forth. We'd take turns, and he would keep beating your ass, my ass. It's like, I can't believe it, man. There's no stopping this guy. He's great at this. So then all of a sudden, it was Rob's turn, and then at some point, this felt like a movie. Rob was at the point where his health bar was going way low, and like he's taking over. And this is like round 3, and then all of a sudden, Rob starts slowly coming back, starts taking. Now Rob. It's like he's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get you. Here we go, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, you're going down. It's like just going into this phase, and I see Mike just go, oh my god, like, trying to get through. It's like, no, he's like, you know what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden, Rob wins, like, yeah, I own you. You had no thing against me or whatever. You just, and he's like in your face, and I just see Mike just going this, and then all of a sudden Mike goes, just starts attacking Robin, and then all of a sudden you guys are wrestling in the room, and Rob Stone's like, I got you, yeah, you know that.
Wow, did I really go that heavy?
Like,
Holy
yeah,
crap.
man, you guys were still. I was laughing.
Oh, my
God. I was crying when you guys were.
Well, I had
You
like
know
a
what's
30
crazy,
game
though?
winning streak, and I think you
Well,
found
I was
out.
gonna
I
say-
think that may have been the reason why. I was just like, oh.
Well, listen, in my defense, I'm actually normally not like that. I'm actually like, I don't say nothing if I'm winning or lose. I'm kind of like quiet, like loser and winner. You know that.
so desperate.
But
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm
After
saying,
losing
yeah.
10,000 times to Beatty and Mario and GoldenEye, and you're kicking my ass in Virtua Fighter, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. It was like all this stored up, you know what I mean? I started having to like strategize. Like I was that guy doing like the sweep and the up kick and like
Yeah.
I like jumping around constantly.
Yeah.
Like the unorthodox shit. That's how I would. But I remember that, man. The wrestling. But yeah, I
Right.
couldn't. I
And
mean,
here's
to
the
your
be-
credit, I mean, what are you like 2,752 and one?
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean? Like,
game, yeah.
What's even much funny about was I think a week later I came back and it happened again.
Oh.
It's like I guess he got the advantage, and then all of a sudden, oh, I did it again. And then I'm like, no way. It's like lightning
Yeah.
struck twice. It was just a great moment.
Yeah, that was
That's a
classic.
classic.
That was
That's a good one. I
definitely
can remember it in my
classic.
head. Yeah, that's a good one.
That was funny.
So I'm gonna share this quick story. So, so PJ sent. So I guess what got the podcast started or got this genesis started is PJ sent me a meme online. It was one that was basically saying like when you look at your friend and like you can't hold your laughing like uncontrollably kind of thing.
Right.
You know, like you can't look at your friend. If you're really like when you something happens, you can't look at your friend and you're just gonna burst
Yeah.
out laughing. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. So let me give you some backstory. So, all right. So I used to when I was in elementary school. Right, I was in speech. I still can't pronounce my words correctly, but we had like this this freak show. So it was me, there's this guy named Steve, this guy named Dan, and some other guy, some random person. I can't remember. But anyway, we used to get there like 8 in the morning before school actually started. You know, for speech classes.
Right.
So like our speech teacher. She would do this thing. Like if we all did really well, we would order McDonald's for breakfast. It was like a big deal. But the trick was, her thing was, you guys have to tell me what you want. You have to pronounce every word correctly.
Right.
So like I took the easy way out. Like let me get some pancakes. Yeah, I feel like so. My friend Steve, PJ and I had a mutual friend Steve. He had a very hard time pronouncing words.
Yeah, he sure did.
He couldn't say egg McMuffin. He's like egg McMuffin. So this
Oh my
poor
God, poor guy,
this
man.
poor woman let this guy go for like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh.
And all of us were like, just give him his egg McMuffin.
I know.
So fast forward to high school.
It's like torture.
Right. So our friend Steve, he's very creative and he wants to go have poetry night. So he invites me and PJ, can you come to me for support? And we said, oh, of course. So this is after school. It's like at 7 o'clock at night or something, right? So we go there. It's a bunch of people. Now Steve goes, right? Now me and PJ are like kind of like in the back. Not totally back, kind of like mid. Not the last row, like maybe like a couple of, not front row or anything. So
Yeah.
this guy's secret, and he's pronouncing words all wrong. He couldn't pronounce, I still can't, philosophical words. He's like, philosophical.
Oh, no.
This poor guy's, and he and I are going wild laughing.
Yeah.
Like, and thankfully no one's really paying attention
Right.
to us.
Right,
We're
right.
going wild laughing, right? And we're just uncontrollable, right? For some reason, they decide. You think they would put this person last,
Oh my God, it's
That
just
person-
so.
right?
The person they put up
Right after
right
this.
after poor Steve.
After this guy, the guy,
Oh, it gets even better.
Yeah, speech alumni guy.
Oh, God.
They bring in. They had this girl, and on a serious note, this guy passed away in our high school. He passed
Oh,
away.
God.
So she wanted to read a poem about him, right?
That she wrote about
Right.
him.
So he and I though are still laughing about Steve.
Oh,
And,
no.
like, we're still like. We're like,
Yeah.
we're like
You're
trying
bursting
to
at the seams,
We're
basically.
like, I can feel my chest going like,
Yeah.
It was like a chest burst. Like
I'm
literally
just
got
staring
back.
at the floor. I'm like, I have to
Right,
look at the
and he
floor.
and
I don't know
are,
what
like,
to do.
Dying. We're like shaking from like laughing.
Yeah.
And PJ's like, dude, I don't think I can hold. He's like, I don't think I can hold this laughing, bro. I'm like, dude, if we laugh, we're gonna be suspended. We're gonna be done because this girl's crying.
This girl's up there. She's crying. She's got like tears. Her
Right.
voice is
That's
just
the
trying not to
worst.
crack.
Oh my God.
She's saying all this like, I don't know
Yeah,
if
deep
they were
stuff.
dating. I
Yeah,
don't know if they were
yeah,
just
right. Getting
friends or
emotional.
whatever it was.
Right. And we weren't laughing at her.
I
We
know.
were laughing at the
Unfortunately, no
previous
one's
thing.
gonna know
Oh
that
my
if
God.
it's
And
happening.
so people it was like remember Roger Rabbit when he has like the
It's gonna blow up, yeah.
So I can tell people start looking at us and we're being disrespectful, but we're trying to be like hide our face and like, oh my God, they probably think we're laughing at this poor girl, but we're really not. So I remember
Terrible.
PJ was like really gonna burst. I'm like, if he goes,
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna
it.
die.
It's all
And I
over.
laugh loud. So I'm like, we're fucking done. And I remember just like, I'm like, dear God, please don't let me laugh out loud. Like, LOL. This is before
Yeah,
LOL
yeah,
even
yeah.
existed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to look anywhere but him because I know he wants to laugh. I'm like, if I
Right.
can't look at him,
Right.
I don't know where to put myself.
Right.
This girl's up there saying these beautiful things about this guy that died
Right.
tragically,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here. I'm
And we're still
about.
thinking about our
I'm like the
first
fucking
egg.
Joker.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like 20 minutes behind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? With the
So,
yeah.
she finally ends it, and then everyone does this like ruckus like applause for her. We let out the biggest laugh, like thankfully because of the claps over
Right.
We were able to, like, get it
out.
laughter. But like, oh, we died.
I think we
such a
left
big-
right after that too. I don't
Yes.
think we
Oh,
even
we
stayed.
left.
We
said,
ran
can't handle
out.
this. We
God.
need another curveball.
It's still
But,
uncomfortable.
like,
I mean,
yeah,
Jesus.
but
Wow.
oh my God, we made it out. I don't know how.
Our
but-
first
the clap that
mistake was
saved your
being a
life.
supportive friend.
Yeah.
We never should have went. We should have been like, nah, I can't make it.
Exactly.
Any millions of excuses we could have
Right.
came up with, but we were too fucking nice.
Yeah.
So we're like, of course we'll go. We'll go. We'll sit in the back. We'll go for you.
That was unbelievable.
Oh my
though.
God, that
But
was.
that was I don't think anything will ever top how I held in the laugh that hard.
That
I really
was-
I thought I was either gonna pee my pants or die from like almost like passing out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it was something.
So you're almost holding your breath.
Yes,
Not to
Yeah.
laugh.
yes.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, Thank God that clap
Are you
happened.
faint instead?
Right.
Interrupting the.
Right, that was unbelievable.
It was
but,
really,
But our friend, man, he was just he was butchering. It was
every word. I mean, even the words that don't seem that hard. I mean,
I don't know, man.
Right,
but,
right.
I mean, he wasn't up there saying like 4-syllable words here. Like he couldn't get through the easy.
Yeah, but man.
The word turtle.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was the worst one. He couldn't say turtle.
Yeah. Oh my
not
God.
bad.
I hate
man.
to even feel like I'm making fun of him. I love him. I haven't
Hey,
spoken
I
to him
was
for
part
years.
of that group. I
Yeah.
still mess up all the time in this podcast.
I went for speech
All
too.
right,
That's
welcome to the
why.
turntable.
Well, that's one of
Oh
the
my
reasons why I didn't go to Abbey Lane.
Right.
They didn't have an Abbey Lane. It was at Northside. That's how I went to Northside.
Right, I remember that. I was like
know?
crushed by
So-
that. You were like
Yeah.
disappeared. I was
Everyone
like,
else went to
Actually,
Abbey
where's
Lane.
Sean? Like, I really didn't know what happened.
In his senior year and my freshman year, we were in the same resource room. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I forgot the name of the teacher.
Mrs. O'Brien Kelly.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I made it out alive. PJ, what do you got,
Wow.
man?
Oh man, I'm trying
I'm
to
not
think.
sure
of
if did we go. I'm not sure if I did with the correct order. Is it you or
Yeah.
back?
I don't
back
know.
to-
Oh,
I think-
no, it went to me and then you.
Oh,
so
oh,
it's
back to
PJ.
PJ.
And
Okay.
then,
No,
and then
PJ.
you.
And then
All
back
right.
to you. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other funny stories. I mean, there's the one where you guys fucking fed me a snail.
Oh yeah,
What?
yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
We walked to Microplay,
Yes.
which was a video game store, like an independently owned video game store, and then we went to Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
a day
these-
right there.
Yeah. And these bastards, you snuck a snail, like an escargot,
Yeah,
into
yeah.
my fucking soft taco.
Yeah.
And
Oh, God.
Oh.
Because we went. Because I don't think you were there. I went with our mutual friend Dan. We went
Yeah.
to.
You
a
went to go to
Mexican-
Chinatown or something,
We went
didn't
to
you?
Chinatown.
Yeah.
His parents took us to. Even though we were Yankee fans somehow,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. I remember Tom Rush actually pitched. They lost, but we went to Chinatown and we actually had snails there. It's very different from, I guess, a French cuisine.
Yeah.
You know? But and we had leftovers, so we wanted to pull a prank on PJ, and but you couldn't taste that. I mean, I don't,
You really
PJ
couldn't taste it, but I remember you
were
guys.
pretty livid. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed. I'm like, you fucking gave me a snail, you pieces of shit. I remember that. I'm trying to think. I'm still. My brain is still laughing
That's okay.
from that last one. That was such a funny day.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we did so much stuff though as kids. Like,
I think that's what you. I think we miss. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no,
PJ,
go
but
ahead.
I think that's what you miss as like just being a kid, like, or just I guess any time.
Yeah.
Just like hanging out with your friends, getting into trouble. I mean, look, we weren't committing murders or crimes. We
Right.
were just doing stupid shit. But like, there was something special. Like, I almost feel like kids don't have as much as
I
fun.
was just in it.
You know? They don't,
Yeah.
because they're just so
Like
married
kid
to that.
play nowadays is different.
Well,
Yes.
no,
It's
they're
Organized
online.
kids play
They're-
play dates.
Yes,
You don't go
play
and knock
dates.
on your door and say, "Yo, dude, you want to play?"
Yeah.
No, they
Can
play-
Sean come out and play? There's none of that.
They
Yeah.
play Fortnite. They play Roblox, Minecraft, or
Yeah, everything's on a screen.
It's all
The creativity is
Or like you
gone.
said, everything is like
We used
you
to
have-
make up our own games.
Right. You have dance, right?
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, you had dance, but you also hung out with your friends on the block.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like kids don't even know how to. They call it socially organizing. They don't even know how to socially organize. You know,
Yeah.
like we used to figure out the movie times ourselves.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yep.
I have patients. The kids I work with they don't even know how to. Excuse me,
Well,
they know how
it
to
was
use
like
an
more
app.
street then. I feel like you could
Yes,
just figure
oh, we
things
were
out.
definitely
You
street.
know?
Oh, absolutely.
I remember we used to go to the park next to the well, first of all, before I even talk about the park next to the bowling alley, when we would throw frisbees at the dead rats or the dead squirrels, there was a poor squirrel that broke his neck trying to climb into the hole in the tree,
Right.
and you would go to this tree in this park. And you would just see his lifeless body hanging from his head. And we got the idea we should throw frisbees at it and see if we can make it fall off the tree. And I mean, we lost frisbees in the tree
Yeah.
trying to hit this fucking thing. I don't know if we ever knocked it down.
Right.
I don't think we ever
know. I think
did.
we tried.
But there were two non-playable characters that I remember. I don't know if you remember them. One guy was always at the bowling alley. And we
Right.
used to call him the Riddler. You remember this guy?
Yes!
Every time we fucking go to this bowling alley,
Yeah.
he would have some sort of stupid joke.
Yeah.
Or
I think it was
stupid.
Rich Hilton.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know this dude, man.
Yeah.
Everyone knows him. He's like
Yeah.
a legend there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And he would
forgot.
always have a stupid joke or a stupid riddle.
Right.
And we're like,
Oh,
just
we-
please leave us alone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't want to talk to you.
Yes.
I just want to eat my shitty pizza, drink my Pepsi, and fucking bowl. And I hate bowling as it is.
Yeah.
I would only
actually
ever.
hate bowling too.
Why did we bowl? Neither one of us
There's nothing
liked
else
it.
to do.
There was I know, but it was terrible. So there was that guy I remember, and then do you remember Funko Land?
Yes.
Oh,
of
yes.
course.
There was the Goat Man.
Yes.
Remember fucking Goat
Yeah.
Man?
We had a team of people who used to call them the Super Friends.
Yeah.
We had, we had the Riddler.
The Riddler?
We had the Goat Man.
Goat
we had
Man.
a person we used to call him the Joker because, like, remember, I guess they still have it now. They used to come up to you and sell you something like in the mall or like outside.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
here's
yeah.
the- She was selling. I don't know. It was like I don't know, maybe Girl Scout. I don't know what she was selling. She had the ultra dyed like orange red hair.
Right.
She was like something. I guess looking back at it, she's probably using substances, but
Right.
we used to call her the Joker. Oh, there's so many characters we had, like the Super Friends. Yeah, man.
Oh,
there was a guy who like yelled at us.
That's right. She's allowed.
At the I was like, oh my god, someone's breaking in.
Someone's breaking into the store while we're recording. No, is it?
I work here.
But anyway, yeah, there was so many.
It was like, there was at the public pool. They were installing a new liner in the pool, so we were just looking at it like, oh wow, they're redoing the pool. This guy thought we were gonna hop the fence and rip the liner, and he was like, back up, citizens arrest. And we're like, sir, we're playing handball actually on this wall,
Yeah,
and,
handball.
and we had to explain ourselves. I remember he was like, some kid's gonna come here and like fuck it up, but like,
well, not us. Why are you yelling at us? We're nowhere
playing
even near
handball,
you.
man.
Yeah.
We're clearly here for a different purpose.
Yeah.
Those were. Now we're trying to remember if there was anyone else. But there was that. There was the Joker guy.
Yeah.
The Joker guy was the guy in the mall, right? That was. Yeah.
Yep.
Those. Was there anyone else? Were there any other non-playable characters that we interacted with regularly?
I think there was more. I just can't remember.
I can't remember them all. I remember Goatman because he was a dick.
Pool man, that's the pool guy.
Yeah.
Riddler, we had those. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna try to combine two real quick. So riding bikes, like you said, but making bike ramps.
Yes.
Yes.
Like in front of my house, like you put these ramps together made out of like crap. It was like whatever your dad had in the garage.
Plywood.
You're like yeah. It's like you're balancing something on a baseball, whatever it was. But I remember in front of our house, whatever on the sidewalk. But I was thinking I'm like Evil Knievel.
Yep.
But it's like a ramp that's maybe like only like 8 inches off the ground. And I'm getting all ready.
Like a
Like
speed
all
bump.
the neighborhood kids are lining up. I'm like 10 years old. I'm feeling
Yeah.
like the man right now.
Right.
I'm really just gonna.
You would rate the leaves and put.
I was just gonna say, that, I think I'm like jumping off like 147 leaves, but I think it's like the biggest jump of all time. So I just remember that. And all right, so another thing is like playing with toys. Like loving toys, and I feel like a lot of kids nowadays don't play with toys that much, or they have a short attention span for toys.
They don't come in here to buy toys. I tell you
Exactly,
that.
and I still really do love toys. I would collect a lot, but I don't try to, I resist. But as a kid, me and Mikey had a ton of toys, and we played with toys a lot. We would play together with toys, and I also like enjoy watching Mikey play with toys too. Like just get a kick out of it. Yeah, I swear to God. So I'm sitting on the couch one day, but what's cool also about being siblings playing with toys and being young kids in the 90s, or just really in general, I'm sure people do this, is like me and Mikey really didn't fight, but like. We had moments like Virtua Fighter, fine, okay? But like, you playfully like kind of pick on each other, whatever.
Right.
But one thing me and Mikey did a lot was fart. Always farting, always farting. Mikey was always a better burper, still is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually farted for like my whole life.
Yeah.
I finally started burping at like 35 years old. I don't know why, but whatever. So Mikey's playing with his toys. So being an older brother, a lot of times I'd be like, let me fart on Mike. That's what you like. I just fart on him whenever I could, and he would really do the same. So one time I fart on Mike. And he's pissed. He's like, some days he would be cool with it, and then some days he would just flip out, flip a shit. You know what I mean? So I fought him. So I don't know if it was the next day or whatever. So we're like, I remember just talking to you. He starts picking his nose. You remember this? He starts picking his nose.
Right.
I swear to
I
God.
know the second half of the
Picks
story.
his nose, right? He's got a booger on his finger. I'm looking at this thing. This guy flicked it. I swear to God, this is a true story. He flicked it, and it's stuck on my cheek. I could. It's still like a nightmare, man. It's still like a nightmare. I could feel it. Was right here. It was right here. I was not.
It's a scar.
It was right here. It's a scar, man. A scar mentally and physically. So like, wait. But then I go to myself. I gotta get this guy back. I didn't remember this.
Right.
So
I know this
Mikey,
part
his
now.
whole life, even now, I'm sure,
Right.
he always likes laying on the floor. Like,
My
I'm
back
talking
hurts.
to him. I turn
My
around. I'm like, where the
back,
hell did Mike go? He's laying on the floor. I don't know. He's like, I gotta straighten my
I did
back.
it last night.
Whatever.
I did
He's
it
doing it all the
last night,
time.
like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Like, you'll trip over him in the house, like growing up. He would just be there, So one day I see him there. I'm like, I'm getting this guy back. I'm getting this guy back real good. So you were in front of the dining room. You were in front of the dining room table, man.
Right.
And I'm like, my eyes get real wide. Like, this is like the Virtua Fighter win is about to happen. I'm like, oh, I pull my pants down. Right? I pull my pants down. I put my ass like right in his face, and I just blow a fart. And I blow a fart. This kid is pissed. He's yelling. He's like, you got a piece of shit on me. You got a piece of shit on me. And I'm like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. So I think it was about equal. Like, he says a piece of shit landed on his face. I don't believe it. I still call it bullshit on that. No pun intended. But that was a classic, little situation. But yeah, man, I had to share that.
Yeah.
This is a good time, though. It's a good time.
I remember our
But
mom.
you're always a good sport. Like, Mikey, like, you go back to business, man, I gotta say. Like, we didn't really fight. It was more stupid shit.
Yeah. I remember mom used to get mad at us. Our mom used to get mad at us when we used to do wrestle. She used to say, "All I hear is ooh, ee."
Yeah, she'd be in the kitchen downstairs. We're upstairs wrestling. Yeah.
She'd be fucking pissed. I just remember that's kind of a good segue. I just remember these kind of like random moments. Like I feel like I guess kids could do this. I guess it's not. It's any age you could do stupid, wild, funny things. But like I'm just gonna go down the line with you guys. So I remember one time we were walking. So it's me, my brother, and Sean. I think we're walking to the pizza parlor or something like that. And Sean has very bad allergies.
Oh.
And this guy,
Yeah.
he always has like one of those like little small packs.
Like the
of
Kleenex
tissues.
bag?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Kleenex,
yeah.
So one time he runs out of tissues. Right, we have no napkins. So this guy pulls a leaf off the tree. This is as a
I remember that, man.
Was I drunk that night?
I don't think
I
so.
must have been drunk. I wouldn't do it sober. I tell you
Maybe.
that.
Yeah, I think you were
I
probably.
think there was alcohol involved.
I think it was late at night. Yeah.
Because I'm like shit, you know.
Right. One of my other favorite things that Sean used to do, and I'm not promoting this, but he used to smoke cigarettes. Right? I'm not advocating for anyone to smoke cigarettes, but we used to play softball, and I used to just love
Oh
this.
my God.
He's actually a very good baseball player. He has a lot of power, but he used to play outfield, and he used to be it was like major league. He used to be out in the outfield with a smoke, and then there would be a fly ball, and he would the ball could put the cigarette back in his mouth, run and catch it. And then he would throw it in and smoke it again.
Yeah. He would hold it in his mouth. He could throw the ball back. And
then when it was like the next batter's coming in, I remember him just like tapping to take the ash
Yeah,
off. And, like,
yeah.
everyone would be like, "Yo, B, don't start a fire." With the girls would be mad dead.
Yep.
I remember another thing, like in school. This is what you, PJ. I don't know why this always cracked me up. This poor guy always had nosebleeds.
Always.
Oh, my
Always.
God.
Always.
Yeah.
I would just turn around. This poor guy's nose,
Just like a
would
faucet.
it would just be bleeding. I just remember also too, like just going on family vacations. You know,
Yeah.
like, and we've been blessed, right, to go on a lot. Disney, all these kind of places. But my dad's a very active person. So like, we go to music parks. I think maybe we might have mentioned this before in another episode, but whatever. We walk fast. Like we walk
Oh yeah.
fast.
I love walking fast.
Even when I was like 5 years old, like I was never in a stroller. You had to walk. Like, it doesn't matter. It was like 900 degrees as far. You're walking to see Donald. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You got to walk. So
11 p.m. You're carrying
Exactly.
yourself out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
When
our-
that ferry's coming, you better
right.
stand up.
We would take like a 2-week vacation in Florida, like Universal, all that shit. And like, our day off was like going to a water park and then going to Pleasure Island at night. That was the rest day. Was a water park going to
Open the clothes, baby. Open the clothes.
Exactly. Yeah, open the clothes. Well, I'll never forget this one. We went to Virginia, right? Like in the summer, went to Busch Gardens. We're staying in this hotel. It was like one of the hottest days on record at time,
yeah.
right? And at the hotel, they have they have tennis courts and stuff like that. Usually, they have those, but no one ever actually uses them. Like the hotel gym, no one
Right.
uses them. They're
Right.
have dust all over them. So we brought actually our rackets, right? So my dad's actually a very good athlete. So and I was like maybe 13. You were
Yeah.
maybe 16.
Yeah.
So we're playing 2-on-1 on my dad, and we're playing for maybe an hour and a half. At least an hour, and we're and it's hot as hell.
It's like 98.
Yeah, and my dad my dad played competitively. He's not gonna let us win. Whatever. So dude, we're drenched in sweat. Now we're gonna go walk to the pool. We're walking to the pool. People are clapping.
Yeah.
And they're going "You guys are unbelievable playing a weather like this." And we're they couldn't believe how hot. And we played. We're just hitting lob. We're playing
We're playing to the death.
Yeah,
my
Andre
dad doesn't want to
Agassi type
lose, and we're
stuff.
trying our hardest to beat him.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll just never forget we got that standing ovation as we walked to the pool.
Good times.
Wow.
Trying to think if there's anything else that we did. I don't know if you remember this. I don't think he actually knows, and we want to get this guy on the show. Get them on the show.
Yeah.
We stole Eric's newspaper for a long time. Do you remember doing this?
Wait. Go.
He lived around the block from me, and for whatever reason, we would swing by his house and steal his newspaper. It meant nothing to anybody, but to us,
It meant the world.
it meant the world. I don't know why we did this. We did this for a while. I don't
I
know.
have no recollection of that.
I don't remember why we did this. I don't remember. Maybe it was.
I do kind of now.
I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't me and you. Maybe it was me and Dan. Maybe it was me and someone else. But we would go by his house in the morning, on the way to school, and steal his newspaper before his family could read it. It impacted it in no way, shape, or form because he never read the newspaper. But we stole it every day. I remember doing that. I think we have a customer that wants to buy something in the store, so we may have to cut this short.
Real.
well,
Can I,
Yeah, go ahead.
real 2 quick things. So I remember PJ just when PJ just first started driving his car. We went out to lunch during high school, and I remember his he drops soda in his car, and the first thing he says, "My mom's gonna
They
kill me."
Yeah.
The sheer panic.
Yeah.
Well, my mother is not an
Right.
easy
Right.
lady to deal with when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I gotta share one small story.
Sure,
I know
yeah.
you want to open the store, but
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things growing up as a kid is like when you grow the balls to ask a girl out.
Oh yeah.
So actually, this takes place in college, but I'll just tell you the fast version. So, going back to speech and everything, I actually had to take like remedial reading in college, right? So there was this beautiful girl. Her name was Susan. I'm married now. I'm happily married. Put that in there before I get in trouble. But there was this girl named Susan. I had a crush on her. So I'm like, I can't ask this girl on the first day of class, you know? But I introduced myself the first day, second day we spoke. I'm like, all right, building rapport. You know, all of a sudden, she's not there the third day, you know, the fourth day. I'm like, oh my God, maybe she dropped the class. I knew she had a friend in there. So like, that was like multiple weeks in. I hear her friend going like, oh yeah, Susan's sick. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, what happened? So I'm like, oh, everything wrong with your friend Susan? Yeah, I remember I told her.
Right.
And she goes, she has mono. So I was like, oh my God, that's the kissing disease. She has a boyfriend. I never got that much info. I didn't get much intel on her.
Yeah.
So she goes,
Well, you couldn't have stuck her online.
yeah, well, that wasn't around. MySpace
know.
wasn't there
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
So she goes, "Oh my God, it's so funny. She doesn't even have mono. She got it anyway." So there's two. Second to last day of class comes, and she arrives, Susan. I'm like, "Oh my God!" But I can't. I felt like I can't ask her out on this. You know, it'd be too much. You know, I just saw her. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna ask her last day of class. So last day of class is actually the final, right? So I come up with this plan. I'm like, there's no way she's gonna finish her final before me because I've been here the whole time. You know?
Right.
So I'm gonna finish it, and once I see her finish, she starts gathering her stuff. I'll dart up front, hand it in, get a drink of water, the water fountain, and I'll ask her, "Oh, how's the final?" Then, "Hey, I'm good to know. Bing, bing, boom, right? I'm taking the final. I have like 4 questions left. She's packing up. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Worst feeling.
Right. So I'm like, oh my God. Now
The
I'm
chance
like,
could be gone
so
forever.
I have like 2 questions left. She goes out. She goes out. She gets out. I'm like, no. So I finish it, right? I go up there. Actually, the professor really liked me a lot. She liked that I was a nice guy. She wants to talk to me. I'm like, no. So I get out. I'm like, okay, I gotta find this girl. And at the time, there's a lot of finals. So I was one of those kids in the college, believe it or not, I had like a giant backpack. So like, I bust through the door. I'm like, where did you go? No. So just geographically, just imagine it's like a long straight line, right? So I'm looking around. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I find her, but she's about to enter. It's called the G parking lot.
Yep.
And once you get into that parking lot, it's like labyrinth. You're not gonna
Forget
find
it.
her, right? So I'm like, I have to ask this girl. And I was telling my friends, like, I had to ask this girl. I can't go back to the guys like, I blew my opportunity. I can't go back, not have some kind of
One
answer.
chance.
Exactly, right.
Little Giants.
So I sprint, guys. I'm darting. I'm sprinting, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going as fast as I can. It was like almost like a Twilight Zone. It was like the faster I ran, the farther she got. Like I couldn't make any ground. So I'm like, and I got this giant. I was thinking maybe I'll just like release the weight. You know what I mean? So I'm like I'm like going fast as I can. So I had no choice before she goes into that, like I said, no man's land. I scream out. And I go, Susan, wait! So she actually stops, looks perplexed. I go up to her. Now I'm out of breath, right? And now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not getting nervous. I got nervous and I lost my voice. I got like a frog in my throat. So I'm like, "Hey Susan, what'd you think of the flight?" So just sheer defeat. So anyway, I think she knew what I was doing. So I did ask her for a number. She gave me her number, but she actually never answered the phone. This is before maybe the beginning of cell phones, but she never answered.
Right.
But anyway, working the guts up. But I'm happy I did it though, and I love to be able to share that story.
Hey.
Does Susan get a brown paper bag award for not
Yeah,
answering?
really. That's
maybe.
a good. I remember that. That's a solid story, though.
Yeah, but that's my thing.
Wow.
But yeah, guys, thanks for going down memory lane and sharing your stories. You know, and for the folks listening at home, you know, share some of your favorite moments of this episode, and maybe your childhood memories too. Anything else, Mr. PJ, before we cut loose?
No, I think we've said it all.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Rob and Sean.
Yeah,
Thanks again for having us. Yeah, it was fun. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we shared pretty much more. I'm sure we would have more stories, but I think this is good enough.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We'll have
Until
a
next time.
second episode where we talk about a little bit more.
Yep. Exactly.
Maybe the 2000s.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man, the wild days.
Yeah.
Yeah, the real Wild West. But you'll find us at the lunch table, same time, same table.
Have a good one.
Boys and girls, lunchtime is over. For more information, visit their website at coolkidslunchtable.podbean.com. Follow the boys on all social media platforms. Just search Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast. Now get to class before you get detention.